Hello, welcome to the King Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining us right here today is Brandon McMahon. Brandon, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thanks very much for having me on.
It is my pleasure. So let's get started by getting to know you a bit and tell us, how did you get started in music? Tell us your story.
Oh, look, I from a young age, I really loved music, but we didn't have any musicians in the family. Mum and Dad didn't play, and I think by the time I was about 16, I'd convinced Mum to borrow me or lend me about $60 to go out and buy an old guitar, and I paid her back at a couple of bucks a week or something like that. So that was where I launched my musical interest back at the age of 16. So then I just learned to play by ear, listen to all sorts of stuff, anything I could try and mimic, imitate, and it's gone from there.
That is absolutely great to hear. Great story to share. Thank you so much. Let's chat about your single called The White Oak Tree. Tell us more about that song.
Sure. Well, I have a friend who lives, it's only about 10 minutes away from where I live, and the Dandenong Ranges in Melbourne. It's about 40 kilometres east of Melbourne, the Ranges. And I go up and see her once a month-ish. And I was heading up on a Friday to see her. She texted me on Thursday and said, look, you're going to have to come the back way because the tree's fallen down in the main street. She lives right in the main street. So I said, fair enough. So I got there the next morning and I was standing out front of her place, and right across the road there was this beautiful white oak tree. It had been there for decades and decades. And I just looked at it and thought, oh wow, what a beautiful tree. How sad is it that it kind of split in half and half of it had fallen across the road. So anyway, I met up with my friend who lived right there, and she was telling me about the tree, and she was saying, we spent so much time under that tree having gatherings and, you know, festivities, and my kids grew up playing under that tree, and that tree is quite iconic in the little village of Olinda where it was. And when the tree fell, it sent I guess a feeling of mourning through the town. It was part of the town. It was, as I say, they'd had so many functions and do's under that town that people felt a genuine loss. So I listened to her story and I thought, oh, there's a song in this. So that's where the white oak tree came from, an actual event.
Wow, that's always great to hear songs about things that actually happened and tells a story.
Yeah, well, I write a lot of my stuff about actual events because I think if you can grab hold of people's attention and draw them into a story because they can feel it or see it or picture it in their minds, they're going to warm to the song.
Definitely, for sure. Now, where do you see your music in like the next couple years? Where do you see yourself?
Look, I'm always writing. I'm always recording. Playing live around Australia. Been over to Nashville a couple of times this year just to do little bits and pieces. Probably more of that next year, but I've got enough music written to last me the next 5 years right at this point in time. And I tend to keep writing and writing and writing. So I think it's probably more of the same, just lots of music coming out.
And if people want to learn more about you, where can they find you?
Probably my website is the best place to start. It's Brendan, BrendanMCM.com. And that's got all the links to everything on all the socials and the like. So that's probably the best place to start.
If you had one message to tell anybody that was listening right now, would that be your fans, family, friends? What would you tell them?
Well, be the best person you can be and don't suffer fools.
Very simple. I love it. And Brandon, is
Yeah.
there anything that I forgot to mention that you would like to mention before we go today?
No, I don't think so. We've talked about the White Oak Tree, the new release. We talked about the website and access to all the socials. Um, if anybody wants to throw me an email from the socials, I'm always happy to answer emails about anything. They can search through my back catalogue. I've released 7 albums now, and I'm just releasing tunes from my 8th album. So they can search through and have a listen and see what the journey of Brendan McMahon has been if they choose to do that. So, no, it's all good.
Awesome. Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. Definitely appreciate your time and support and hope to have you on the show again real soon.
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.